watching GSTV UK. Keep watching.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, सत श्री अकाल। मैं हूं नदीम आपके साथ और जीएस न्यूज पे संडे को माइंड बॉडी स्पिरिट के साथ आपके साथ एक बार फिर हाजिर खिदमत हूं। आज हम एक जबरदस्त टॉपिक लेकर आपके पास आए हैं। हमारे जो रिस्पेक्टेबल गेस्ट हमारे साथ मौजूद है आज, हमेशा की तरह समीना खान और एंजेलिना रे, ये दोनों हमारे साथ हैं। बहुत जल्द हमारे स्टूडियो में एंटर हो जाएंगे और जैसे ही आएंगे इनके साथ आपकी बातचीत करेंगे। आज हमारा जो टॉपिक है बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है। हमने कोशिश की है कि माइंड बॉडी स्पिरिट से रिलेटेड जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे पास आती है। वेलकम समीना को हम वेलकम करते हैं हमारे शो में। अस्सलाम वालेकुम समीना।
वालेकुम सलाम नदीम, थैंक यू।
वेलकम, आप हमारे साथ हाजिर हैं और हमारे साथ अभी ज्वाइन करेगी हमें एंजेलिना रे, और एंजेलिना रे भी हमारे साथ है। वेलकम एंजेलिना, वेलकम एंजेलिना, हाय। Yes, respectable, both guests are with me today, the Samina and the Angie. And today the topic, because the topic is very important, and I want to allow Samina to introduce about introduction about the topic. मैं चाहूंगा कि Samina इस anxiety जो है कि anxiety होती क्या है, anxiety कैसे होती है, तो बेसिकली anxiety के ऊपर मैं चाहूंगा कि Samina जो है इसको थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करें। Samina, आपकी तरफ आएंगे हम। आप बताना पसंद करेंगे जो आज हमारा टॉपिक है इसके ऊपर कि हमारा क्या टॉपिक है और हम क्या बात करने जा रहे हैं आज।
जी, आज हमने टॉपिक चूज किया है एंजाइटी, और इसकी वजह है अभी इस वक्त ये कोविड-19 के साथ सबको कोई परेशानी है, बीमारी की, कभी हेल्थ की, कभी बच्चों की, कभी रिलेशनशिप्स की, कभी काम की। तो अक्सर इस वक्त एंजेलिना, मैंने और आपने भी देखा होगा अपने काम में, अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में, सब कोई ना कोई फॉर्म्स ऑफ एंजाइटी दिखा रहे हैं। या तो उनकी आवाज में बेचैनी है, uncertainty है, there is illnesses, there are aches, there are pains, there is mental tension, there's lack of clarity, there's lack of uncertainty. तो इस वजह से हमने एंजाइटी की टॉपिक चूज किए ताकि हो सके हम आज कोई एडवाइस दे सबको, जिसमें सबको किसी ना किसी तरीके से कुछ आराम मिले और कुछ गाइडेंस मिले।
बिल्कुल सही, जबरदस्त। एंजाइटी के बारे में समीना मैं सबसे जानना चाहूंगा बिफोर आई गो टू द एंजी, एंड इफ आई कैन से सिंपल वर्ड्स, बिकॉज द कॉमन पीपल, how they know that they are in the state of anxiety at the moment, how they know about it. Can you explain in one sentence what the anxiety is? Samina.
For me in my work, I find मुझे ऐसे महसूस होता है लोगों को confusion सी रहती है, बेचैनी सी रहती है, anxious, उनकी आवाज में anxiousness आती है जिस तरीके से वो बात करते हैं। वो एक चीज पर फोकस नहीं कर पाते, हर चीज में थोड़ी थोड़ी कंफ्यूजन होती है, उनकी एनर्जी भी कुछ हाइपर होगी, कईयों को कहीं ना कहीं बॉडी पर दर्द निकल रही हैं, सर्द में दर्द हो रही है, नेक में दर्द हो रही है, इस टाइप की issues you come across when you sort of deal with anxiety overall. Angelina will be able to cover as well nicely on this from a perspective of from a more intuitive and counseling perspective.
Yeah, I'm just thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samina. Thank you very much. You explained very well. Mirza Nakash join us. Thank you very much, Mirza Nakash. Salam alaikum. And हुमायूं खान साहब हमेशा की तरफ हमारे साथ हैं। वेलकम हुमायूं, आपको बहुत बहुत सलाम नदीम की तरफ से, समीना की तरफ से, एंजेलिना की तरफ से। एंजेलिना, now I come to you because the Samina gave a small introduction about the anxiety. Can you just introduce yourself first and who you are, what you are doing, how you can deal with that kind of things, and what the anxiety is in your point of view, please. Angie.
Okay, I'm going to describe anxiety.
Yes.
And because the reception's a little bit poor, so I'm going to pick up on what I feel you're asking, and I'm hoping that it's what you are calling for clarification. I think this time is about being able to get in touch with our own realities. This is an opportunity for us to understand our truth, because we have to get that this pandemic is about a virus that we cannot see. It's something that is on the physical form. It's tangible in the cognitive mind, but it's something that we cannot see. And I think that really kind of, for me, highlights energy, and that we are all, to be conscious, we are all energetic resonance. So what I mean by this is we're all feeling as if on the surface we have matters to do with life that we feel we can control.
Okay.
And what we're realizing is we have to go beyond that now and tap into things like faith and hope to shatter the noise in our head that equates to what a lot of people would coin as anxiety. And we have to understand that anxiety is like a chemical. It's it gets fired up from our brain and also from our heart. And it's based on a series of memories as well. When we are trying to work out what's happening with us on a physical level, it ignites certain scripts that we have about ourselves, about who we are as people with a job and who we are with people within having our own health. So yeah, this is a really important time to anchor in on our inner knowing and self-awareness.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angie. You explain very well. You explain very well about the anxiety, because I just speak in my language to explain to the people as well. Little bit, कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है कि हमें ना बेचैनी सी हो जाती है, कहते हैं बेचैनी हो जाती है बहुत ज्यादा, और हमें कभी-कभी हल्के-हल्के दर्द फील होते हैं बॉडी के अंदर, और हमें लगता है कि हमें नींद सही नहीं आ रही, या हमें खाना सही तरह से नहीं खा पा रहे। ऐसी जो हेल्थ कंडीशन होती है जिसमें आप इस तरह की फीलिंग्स आपको शुरू हो जाए, उसे वो एंजाइटी के जुमरे में आती है। अब ये एंजाइटी डिफरेंट तरह से इंसान पे असरअंदाज होती है। तो मैं समीना से पूछूंगा कि वो बताना पसंद करेंगे कि जैसे आजकल के दौर में आपने देखा होगा कि लोग बहुत ज्यादा हेल्थ कॉन्शियस हैं। पीपल डोंट वांट टू बी eat too much food to be healthy or fat, and they try to cut down their food, but they don't know how to how balanced diet is. And when they have no proper diet come to in their meal, and then they got problems started, weaknesses and other kind of things, and these things also create a cause to go to the anxiety level. And how can Samina, can you explain to me about this thing? Okay, the diet basically is also can affect the humans day by day lifestyle, or it caused people go towards anxiety on that kind of mind state. Samina.
Okay, gee. So picking up where Angelina left, when we talk about energy, foods, जो हम खाते हैं, देखते हैं on a day-to-day basis, वो हमारी तबीयत के ऊपर affect होता है। तो अगर हम ज़्यादा hyper foods खाएं, उसमें हमारी anxiety कुछ increase हो सकती है। अगर हम calming foods खाएं, उसमें हमें थोड़ा सा clarity आ सकती है। हम ज़्यादा congestion महसूस करेंगे तो हमें mind की clarity नहीं होगी। जैसे एंजेलिना ने अभी समझाया बहुत ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से, ये एक मौका दिया गया है कि हम अपने आप को पहले देखें, देखें हम every aspect of our life कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं। लोग होप ढूंढ रहे हैं, अनसर्टेनिटी है मार्केट्स में, एवरीडे लाइफ में, तो उसमें किसी चीज का हल नहीं नजर आ रहा किसी को। मगर एंजेलिना ने अभी समझाया, if we tap into our internal faith system, जिस चीज में हम मानते हैं, जिस चीज में हमें होप मिलती है, वहां से हमें ज्यादा जहाँ पर सोच होगा वहाँ से हमें ज्यादा होप मिलेगी, वहाँ से हमें ज्यादा क्लैरिटी मिलेगी.
बहुत खूब, Angelina. Angelina, how do you think about the daily diet system of the people? Is that kind of, if you got a healthy diet or you have a healthy style of your food, then it also can affect humans' life or humans' day by day life routine? What do you think about it, Angelina?
I'm going to guess what you've said, Nadeem, based on the sound that we're dealing with, the interference. But I feel like you're asking me if how does nutrition play into life, into how we feel. Yeah. And I really do feel we have to look at ourselves as a whole. So definitely nutrition is an aspect of how we function. I always look at life as our body is what houses our spirit, and inside our body is our soul. So it makes sense to house it well. Nutrition is fuel. It's how we can fire ourselves up as well. It's part of that. And we have to understand that we're affected by many things. Genetics is one. We've got the sociological aspects of where we are socially, how we work as human beings with other people. And we also get affected with how we interact with our religion and faith system. These are all aspects of, and I think go back to you saying nutrition. Nutrition, I feel like it really plays a part on making sure that we have best opportunities to be able to manage all of those aspects that I've said, because I really look at things in a whole. And also, you know, there's no point eating really well if we aren't exercising our physical body, but also our mind. And as we know, our mind and our heart are all linked. We have to work in coherence, the mind and heart as one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, sometimes, Samina and Angie, we can see a lot of people, they have bad habits of eating. You know, they eat a lot of food. You know, they start from the first meal in the morning. They take a heavy breakfast. Then after that, they have a heavy lunch. Then they heavy after that, they are taking the midday, and then the dinner. They put a lot of food. And after that, they say, "Oh my God, we can't sleep because we got problem going on." Oh God, you know, that kind of things. Having food eating habit also can affect that kind of things.
Yes, of
Samina.
course. Of course. Overeating is being over anxious. There's an analogy I'm trying to think of. कि हमारी आंखें are never satisfied. हम ज्यादा देखना चाहते हैं, मगर हमारा पेट इतना ही होता है खाने के लिए कि हम आंखों से ज्यादा ग्रीडी होते हैं, मगर जो हमारी कंजम्पशन है, जितनी हमें जरूरत है, वो उससे कम होती है. तो ये वापस एंजेलिना ने जो पॉइंट बनाया है on nutrition, that mind, body, spirit has to be linked. You have to think consciously with your mind what you need. You have to do physical activity if you're taking huge amounts of food in order to digest it and make yourself in a comfortable state. And when the food is becoming overbearing on your body, इसमें आपको जाहिर होता है कि हम जितना हमने खाया है वो हमारे लिए ज्यादा है, तो हम उसको यूज नहीं कर पा रहे.
That's good. Angie, I got a question from you, Angelina, if you're here with me, because you know sometimes something comes to my mind and I ask you because of that platform, because you're here, you're expert in meditation and that kind of things. When you are in that kind of state, when you don't know, you don't decide what to do in your life, how you can balance your life, especially your eating habits. Can meditation or that kind of exercises and that kind of practices can fix that problem in the human mind? to give us the instruction how much food we have to eat and how we can control our system to have overeating habits. How can we overcome that problem? Can that exercises which you do in your programs or meditation, that things can fix that kind of problems in the human life? Angelina.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pick up because it really is interference with the sound. Did you want to just say
I can speak to
again
Ikra.
very shortly
I can
what you
speak to
were
Ikra.
asking?
If suppose if I ask question from Angie, then she can drop Samina from the mainstream. Then obviously maybe the voice is going to be clear, and then she can in the background she can listen, and then we can come back, bring you back. If Ikra can listen to us, and she can take Samina out, and then we can listen Angelina full, then we can take Samina back. If Ikra is on the background, okay, Angelina, carry on. Yes, Angie.
Let's see. I'm going to use my pure intuition to
Yes.
give some information that might be appropriate. So I'm totally feeling this out here, and what I'm going on the back end of what you said about nutrition. Maybe if I add to that, and I think what you were bringing up was the aspect of routine, or how we can use what we can utilize to help us become more effective as human beings, dealing with emotions.
Okay.
And I just want to, I feel like what's come in for me is to talk about the aspect of rest and sleep as well, seeing as we're speaking about the fueling the body. Also, I'm thinking of the way that we're very active in life, in also our thought process, you see, because this situation is requiring us to slow down, to reframe, to reflect on how we utilize our sense of self in this environment that we're in. And when we use our thoughts a lot more, we become tired, because we also have a battle with where our mind wants to go and where what our heart is saying. Because I feel like situations like this trigger different aspects of ourselves, our emotions. Because I feel like things like prayer, meditation, and even sleep right now goes hand in hand with aspects of like nutrition and is part of health. Because I just want to say that maybe this is a good time to understand what's behind our fears. That we know that, you know, with immunity, okay, in the English language, because I'd love to introduce Amit one day to your show because of the language aspect, but I can only talk in terms of English. Immunity is I'm in unity, which means together. So if we're talking about building our strength, also understand that we are all have vibrations that are linked. So everything that's happening around the world, we have part to play in this, is what I'm saying. So when we look around at things that are causing us fear or anger, say, we have to look at what it is in us that we can be that we can change in ourselves, and those answers come in moments of rest and prayer and meditation. I don't know if that's ignited anything for you, Simi, in what I've said. I was just led to bring it in that way. I just go with what comes in, and I feel like
That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah. So Angelina ये कह रही है ना कि इस वक्त जिस तरीके से हम प्रे करते हैं, मेडिटेशन करते हैं, इसमें हमारी बिहेवियर्स, हमारे एटीट्यूड, हमारे सोच में बहुत फर्क पड़ता है। और ये चीजें हमारी डाइट, हमारी न्यूट्रिशन में सब कुछ लिंक्ड है। तो अगर हम ज्यादा कंफर्ट मांग रहे हैं और हम ज्यादा एक्सेसिव ईटिंग करें, वो हमें हमारे थॉट्स में और हमारे आराम में हमें फर्क महसूस पड़ेगा, हमें वो चैन नहीं मिलेगा। और ये एक मौका, एंजेलिना कह रही है, थ्रूआउट द वर्ल्ड ये जो कोविड है अभी हर तरफ फैला हुआ है और हर तरफ सबको परेशान कर दिया, एंग्शियस कर दिया, सब अपनी अनसर्टन हो चुके हैं। ये एक मौका है कि हम अपनी our mind, our thoughts, our attitude, our meditation, our belief को, उन चीजों को मजबूत करें, अपने आप को reevaluate करें।
बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही कहा, बिल्कुल सही कहा। समीना, तुमने एक्सप्लेन किया very well. You explained Angie's point of view, and that's why we are here. Angie is an expert in her level, and we can explain. You can explain to her as well, because you know what, you sometimes you work together very good. And secondly, I got some questions in my mind that I'm asking all the time. You can you guys, and one second question in my mind: exercise. If a person who eats a lot, who have habit to overeating, but he has good habit to have a good exercise as well. Good exercise and good eating, they both are good, or you have to need a balance in it. यानी अच्छा,
For me,
कुछ तो कहते हैं हमने बहुत खा लिया है, अब हम एक्सरसाइज कर लेंगे। कुछ कहते हैं हमने बहुत खा लिया, now we can exercise. What do you think? Exercise can affect that kind of things if you have a lot of eating habit and after that you go to exercise, jogging or swimming or something. It's good for you.
Yeah, exercise shouldn't be an attitude to compensate, which is what आप ये कह रहे हैं कि अक्सर लोग ज्यादा खा लेंगे और कहेंगे कि we're gonna exercise afterwards. Angelina, we were just saying, people often think or take exercise, well, I've eaten too much today, so I'm gonna burn a few more calories on the treadmill. That's a very general way of looking at it. When we look at it in depth, we should cultivate good habits that last, and we should adjust our habits against our climate and environment and things that we are facing, because we cannot stay the same all the time. Our body will need different things at different points, depending on what we are dealing with, where we are, what factors we're facing at that time. Everything is intrinsically linked. One point that Angelina ne abhi mentioned kiya tha, कहती है कि immunity is such a buzzword at the moment. And when we say immunity, what do we mean? If you look at the word, it actually means to be in unity, which Angelina so correctly mentioned. And to be in unity is to be in a balance of mind, body, and spirit.
That's great. That's great.
So it's cultivating habits that last and adjusting those habits as time evolves as we move forward.
Yeah, and sometimes, Samina and Angie, I have just like a question, because sometimes people think, if you are in a bad relationship, basically, people, happiness is based on the relationship, even the personal relationship with friends or family or whatever. Sometimes these relationships also affects the human level of anxiety. If you are not in a good relationship, not in a healthy relationship, it also affects your anxiety level. What do you think, Angelina? Can you say something about it?
Relationship.
Was that to me, Nadeem?
Yes, yes. About relationships, how relationship affects the human anxiety level.
Again, I'm going to read the interference. So if I'm jumping in and I'm not meant to, please, I apologise. It's I'm lip reading a little bit, and but I'm picking up on what you said about the exercise. And there's one thing that came for me was about being in your body. you know, we hear of fight and flight because we're talking about anxiety here, and the psychological terms fight or flight. People deal with stress in different ways. Sometimes this is the making of us all. This is not a time to cop out and to give in here, because I feel like we are being tested universally to with our personal interests. So with exercise, it brings the power in us when we feel empowered. But also, I feel like because there's many types of exercise, the yogic and dancing aspect, I feel, is also spiritually, religiously, but also creative. To be creative, to just switch off, and to be in your body. And that's a really good way to deal with the nervous system and the busy mind. And if you think about our brains having two sides, we really, as human beings, there's a time to be linear and to cognize and put plans in place and make sense of situations. But also, there's a part of our brain that needs to have ideas come to us inspirationally, be creative, and to have what I call like light codes, like I call it inspiration. And I find that comes when we do things, when we like play, when we explore, like being in our body, like dancing, like listening to music. It's like healing, and it's like the bar for the cognized spheres. It's like a healing. So I just wanted to add that in as you're talking about exercise, because that was something that came through to me, and I'm aware because of the sound interference, I'm just butting in whenever I can.
That's good.
When
Samina,
there's a space.
Samina can explain because I said relationships sometimes affects the human's anxiety level. This is right. I'm right. If a person is in a good relationship, his anxiety level is different. And if the person is in relationship problem, he's not mentally happy, or maybe some problem going on, then his anxiety level going to be different. You're gonna that relationship problems can cause his health habits, his food nutrition habits, his affects his life and everything. What do you think? Relationships matters? Samina, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Nadeem. Relationships, I think, are very important for all of us, and that's not just firstly with ourselves, our relationship with ourselves, and I'm sure, as Angelina will state, our relationship with our own belief system. And when we say belief system, हम किस चीज में मानते हैं, हम किस चीज में होप ढूंढते हैं, हम किस चीज में पॉजिटिविटी ढूंढते हैं. And वो जो बाकी की बाय वाली रिलेशनशिप्स हैं, जैसे आपके पार्टनर के साथ, आपके हस्बैंड वाइफ के बीच में, बच्चों के साथ, एक्सटर्नल फैमिली मेंबर्स, वो एक लाइफ का एक हिस्सा है. उसको उन चीजों से हमें एंजाइटी मिलती है. Depends how you view the relationships and how you manage the relationships. एक एनर्जी के पर्सपेक्टिव से हम ये कह सकते हैं कि अपने इरादों को मजबूत करके आप अपने आप को गार्ड कर सकते हो. इसका ये नहीं मतलब कि आप लोगों को काट दो या उनकी बात ना सुनो या आप उनको रिस्पेक्ट मत दो. इसका ये मतलब है आप treat people with respect and with love. Where there is conflict, where there is confusion, where there is communication that is not flowing and is going against जिस चीज में आप मानते हो, उस चीज को you can only do what you can control yourself. So you can try to manage it better. You can become more positive, and that encourages a positive response. So
thank you very much, Samina. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all viewers. GS News के प्लेटफॉर्म से प्रोग्राम चल रहा है. हमारे साथ गेस्ट मौजूद है, समीना एंड एंजी, और हम जाएंगे छोटे से ब्रेक की तरफ. ब्रेक के बाद वापस आके इसी टॉपिक को दोबारा आगे कंटिन्यू करेंगे. आप सब हमारे साथ रहिएगा. समीना और एंजी और नदीम आपके साथ रहेंगे हाफ एन आवर. थोड़ा सा ब्रेक के उस पार आपसे मिलते हैं.
You're watching GSTV UK. Keep watching. You're watching GSTV UK. Keep watching.
वेलकम बैक व्यूअर्स आफ्टर ब्रेक. नदीम आपके साथ है और आज हमारे साथ हमारी गेस्ट है समीना एंड एनजी. हमारा टॉपिक चल रहा है आज एंजाइटी. इंटरेस्टिंग बात मैंने पिछले दिनों एक न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ी कि एक खातून ने अपने हस्बैंड पे केस कर दिया कि वो गुस्सा नहीं करता, मैं कोई भी बात करूं वो लड़ता नहीं मेरे साथ. इस बात को लेकर कोर्ट में गई कि मुझे अपने हस्बैंड से शिकायत है कि वो मेरे साथ लड़ता नहीं है. कभी कभी इंसान बहुत खुश हो तब भी वो डिप्रेशन और एंजाइटी में चला जाता है. और ये किस किस्म की एंजाइटी है ये हम समीना से पूछेंगे कि अ पर्सन यू कैन एक्सप्लेन टू एनजी एज वेल कि ये कैसा केस है कि जिसमें एक औरत जाके बोलती है कि मेरा हस्बैंड मुझसे लड़ता नहीं है, इस पिछले 10 साल में एक झगड़ा नहीं हुआ, एक दफा वो नहीं उठा, मैं जो कहूँ वो मेरी बात मानता है, उसके बाद भी एंजाइटी हो जाती है. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है? आप क्या कहेंगे इसके बारे में समीना? एंड यू कैन आस्क फॉर एनजी एज वेल अबाउट द सेम क्वेश्चन.
मुझे लगता है ये एक परफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है. From my Angelina, Nadeem is saying that.
Angelina, maybe waiting for. Can you explain to her? Samina, can you explain to her first because she will listen. That's a very interesting question. Can you explain to her? She can listen to you. Maybe your mic come to her quickly.
Nadeem has just highlighted a case where a woman has expressed her frustration that her husband is so calm and chilled that he doesn't react to anything. He doesn't show anger. He agrees with everything. And in this kind of like, you could say, comfortable state, she is getting it's making her anxious and anxiety kind of driven because there's not enough reaction for her to play with.
Because she listen all the time, ladies' problems. Oh, her husband did
pick up on
no.
that.
I want to enjoy that kind of thing as well. Why?
Playing a
Yes,
little
Angie.
bit of guesswork.
I heard hear noise, the voice,
Fight or
volume.
flight. You take yourself off.
She's
when
speaking, but we
there's
can't
a situation.
hear.
Oh, can you not? Is the volume okay now?
Can we have volume back?
Yes. You can't hear me. Angie, can you hear me now?
Hi.
If we have any other electronic device next to our phone, try to keep it away. Because sometimes, if our phone is okay, if we can put any other electronic device or any other phone near to the phone, then sometimes the vibrations can affect the other phone signals. If any other electronic device next to your phone, just put it away. Yes.
Can you hear us?
Angie,
Angelina,
mic is.
can you hear us? Unmute the mic. Yours is muted. What would you say, Nadeem, in this scenario? If a wife is so, if your partner is, what would you say, Nadeem, in this scenario? If your partner is so
sometimes I think they're kind of, because human nature, हम किसी हाल में खुश नहीं रह सकते. हमें अगर थोड़ा मिला है तो ज्यादा की तरफ भागते हैं, ज्यादा मिले तो थोड़ा बहुत देख के हम तरसते हैं. तो असल में एंजाइटी जो है वो हर इंसानी लाइफ का एक हिस्सा है. हर इंसान एंजाइटी से गुजरता है. जो मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि इंसान चाहे वो गुड हैबिट ऑफ ईटिंग में हो, बैड हैबिट ऑफ ईटिंग में हो, एंजाइटी हर इंसान के पास से गुजरती है. हर इंसान इसका शिकार होता है. सिर्फ क्या होता है, हमें नॉलेज नहीं होती. We haven't got, just like knowledge about that thing. Samina, can you switch off your mic for a few seconds? Just like off your mic, then at least we can maybe after that we'll see. Yeah, Samina. Yeah, thank you very much. But still you can hear me, yeah? Still you can hear me. Samina, just say yes if you can hear me. Yes, this is a good way. Whenever we talk, we can open our mic, and after that we can switch off our mic and we can listen to other person. Now, Angie, can you listen to me? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Sometimes when two people are together, live very happily, and they're still not happy. Why? Because they want some problems in their life. Because the happiness, you can't feel the happiness if you have no experience about the sadness. If you're never gonna enjoy your success if you are not facing failure in your life. That's why sometimes some people got that problems, even if they have everything, but they think they are missing something, and they're missing something, that ups and down of the life. And that's why we can teach to people, even any kind of situation come into your life, you have to tackle with it, and just like try to know the skills how to deal with it. That's why Angie is here, because Angie is focused on that kind of mental state to give a stable position in the life. Why? Because when you meditate, when you focus on your aura or your inner energies, and then you can control and you can overcome that kind of problem. Angelina, now you can say something.
Hi. Okay, you're back again. From what I've picked up from you, what you've just relayed, I feel like it's the matter of meaning. If we understand that situations in life don't happen to us, they can happen I used to say they happen for us. I'm more inclined to say now they happen with us. So if we are to think, if we feel that these situations are happening in pure isolation and we have no responsibility in them, then we are completely wrong. I think the sooner we realize that we are part of a big picture here, and if we're not happy, it's because we are not fully playing into our life the way our soul wants us to, our heart space wants us to. I don't know, I'm hearing it more and more. Listen to your heart rather than your mind. Now it's emotion, listen to your heart over mind. I feel like that's true, and to some extent, sometimes we have to just take some time out to understand exactly what we're feeling, to hear the messages. And when we're not feeling very good in relationships, it's because we're not really feeling too great in ourselves. Because it's easy to blame the external and who we are involved with, or what we are involved in. I feel like I'm going on the right track, and then you have to correct me, but I feel like we're talking about relationships. And I want to say, if we look at it in terms of being prepared to accept what we can't change and understand what we can.
Yes.
If we feel like we cannot be bothered with somebody or someone, it's because we've lost our enthusiasm with ourselves. And that's where I feel like getting in touch with humanity helps. I know you're very good in all of that. You work very well with the public and for good causes. And I feel like is when we find these purposes in life, it gives us it ignites a fire that gets called, that's called enthusiasm. And I think it's where we need enthusiasm to bring us into our body, so we're not off fight or flight. You know, people cop out and go, I can't be bothered with this situation. I just rather a easy life, an easy life. And that's a reaction that can be effective at times, but it can also be counterintuitive. It's knowing when to, you know, the saying, pick your battles wisely. It's knowing when to fight. But when I say fight, I mean fight for your for your sense of being alive. You know, it's your get up and go to say, I can't be bothered in this situation, but I can be bothered with what I'm doing right now, and what is really what is going to light my fire right now. Because I bet you, when we start to realize the things that excite us, like plugging into higher causes, working with humanity, so that gives us our fuel and our buzz back to be bothered, to be able to put back into relationships. Does that, because I feel like when we cop out, it's like because we have an empty cup, and we never give from an empty cup. And I think that's where relationships go wrong, because we're trying to understand how we can bring ourselves into connection when we're not connected with who we are. I think that's answering what you were saying, Nadeem.
It's perfectly. You explained very, very well, and I think we all understand when one person is talking, we try to close our mics, and then the other person voice will become very clearly. When one person talks, the other person can switch off their mics, and then easy voice, no noise will become between the talk. Okay, thank you very much. And Samina, what do you think about it? I just said, sometimes when you experience the happiness and the sadness in their life, and that's why sometimes we go in the state of anxiety. What do you think? What your point of view, please?
If I've heard correctly, excuse me, everyone.
I'm hearing you talk about
the clash between happiness and sadness. Everyone faces challenges. हर किसी की लाइफ में challenges आते हैं, anxiety भी आती है बहुत different तरीके से, कभी काम में, कभी relationships में. पहले इंसान को ये देखना चाहिए कि हम choices क्या बनाते हैं. Choices में बहुत फर्क पड़ता है कि क्या हमारी लाइफ में होता है. Second thing, दूसरी बात ये है कि अगर हम practical tips ढूंढ रहे हैं कि हम anxiety को कैसे manage करें day to day life में. कोई डिसीजंस मत लो गुस्से में. इमोशंस के साथ जो फैसले किए जाते वो हमेशा कामयाबी नहीं होते, हो सकता है हम गलत चॉइस बनाए. जितना हम सब्र करें, पेशेंस रख सकते हैं, उसमें हमारी बेहतरी है. इसे हम एक काम माइंड से, कूल माइंड से सोच कर करते हैं काम. दूसरा मैं कहूँगी कि हम अग्रेसिव ना हो पाऊं या जताओ मत कि ये क्यों हुआ, ये क्यों ऐसे हुआ, मैंने ऐसे चाहा नहीं. अगर कुछ हो गया है और आप नहीं उसको ऐसे चाहते थे, या तो उसको कोशिश करो उसको संभालने के लिए, उसको ठीक करने के लिए, या तो उस चीज को आप एक्सेप्ट कर मूव ऑन करो. जताना, सुनाना, बहुत ज्यादा रिग्रेट और गम करना, वो भी एक इंसान की एवरीडे लाइफ मैनेजमेंट के लिए एक अच्छी बात नहीं है. And most importantly, आप जब दुआ मांगे, जब आप अपने नमाज पढ़े प्रे करते हो, उसमें आप दिल से सब्र मांगे, दिल से सॉल्यूशंस मांगे, ओ पूरी तरह से उम्मीद रखे, ओ होप रखे, पॉजिटिव रखे कि अल्लाह आपको कोई रास्ता जरूर ना जरूर दिखाएगा। अक्सर हम क्या करते हैं, हम फंस जाते हैं, हम नमाज़ें पढ़ने लग जाते हैं, दुआएँ करने लग जाते हैं और हमें ऐसे लगता है कि हमें अल्लाह की तरफ से कुछ नज़र नहीं आ रहा। हमारे हमारे हमें कुछ समझ नहीं लग रही, अल्लाह ने ये क्यों किया हमारे साथ? उसने हमें हमारा मसला क्यों नहीं हल किया? नमाज़ में जब हम ठीक से पढ़े, जब हम दिल से पढ़ते, उसमें हमें कामनेस आती। उस कामनेस में हम फैसले और डिसीजंस अच्छे ले सकते हैं। और मेरी ये रिक्वेस्ट होगी सबसे कि when you pray with an open heart and pray with a level of calmness because solutions will come to you. Nadeem, आप हैं इधर?
यही है हम यही है, हमें बस जो है कभी कभी बैक ऑफ द स्टूडियो जाके आपको सुनना पड़ता है। तो एनजी, यू कैन से सम फ्यू वर्ड्स हाउ वी कैन व्हाट आर द सॉल्यूशंस, हाउ वी कैन overcome the problem of anxiety, and what are the steps we can take in our life to face that anxiety and bring our life to the comfortable zone. And I request so Ikra, when you're going to say something on this, then she will highlight you only, then we can listen to you properly. Yes, Anji.
Okay, I'm taking I'm picking up on steps from sadness into happiness. It's good to have certain strategy things in place, but I'm also thinking it in terms of a process, like this pandemic is a process. It's not necessarily something that you can reach in a goal-orientated way, although there are certain ways that you can put yourself into flow. But I see this as a transitional. If we understand that things are an ever-flowing, is ever-flowing, that what is sad will be flows into happiness, and what is happiness flows into sadness, then it's easier to accept the paradigms, the polarity of life, and then what happens is the flow. I'd say we make it as a dance, and an observation that sadness is it's a momentary experience, and it is what's present for now. And then what will be the next second may be something very different. So I'm introducing the concept of mindfulness and being in that present moment. And Meech just put a comment, but okay, I can't read that completely. Understanding the array of life and the colours, so we aren't so black and white, really helps. To get towards happiness, it may be that we feel out experiences such as serenity, peace and serenity. And I really feel like peace, part of peace is self-acceptance, it's honouring of. And I feel like when the sadness comes up, if we acknowledge that sadness for what it is, it's an opportunity then for it to play out in another way.
Very well. And तमाम ऑडियंस से मैं बताना चाहूंगा, जहां तक हम बात को समझ पाए हैं, एंजाइटी का जो लेवल है वो इंसान के अंदर दो तीन तरह से इंसान एंजाइटी की तरफ जाता है। नंबर एक, हमारी अगर ओवर ईटिंग हैबिट्स हैं और हमारा बैलेंस डाइट नहीं है और हमारे टाइमिंग सेट नहीं है, उसकी वजह से भी हमारी बॉडी डिसऑर्डर का शिकार होती है, जिससे हम बेचैनी, एंजाइटी बेसिकली बेचैनी का एक दूसरा नाम है। बेचैनी से हो जाती है इंसान को, इंसान चिड़चिड़ा सा हो जाता है, इंसान को बॉडी नेक के इस एरिया के अंदर पेन सा फील होना शुरू हो जाता है। तो ये तमाम चीजें पैदा होती हैं। इसकी 3-4 रीजंस हैं जहां तक मैं अभी पूरी डिस्कशन में निकाल पाया हूं। मैं थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, फिर उसके बाद समीना की तरफ आऊंगा, फिर एनजी से हम बात करेंगे। फिर दूसरी बात ये है कि आपके रिलेशनशिप बहुत इफेक्ट करते हैं, मैटर करते हैं। बड़ी अच्छी बात अमित शाह ने कही कि सप्रेशन और जो लोगों को दबाना होता है ना, जो हम लोगों को प्रेशराइज कर रहे होते हैं, खासतौर पे हमारे जो मर्द है हमारी एशियन सोसाइटी की, और घर में जाएंगे तो औरतों को दबाने की कोशिश करेंगे। इसी तरह से जो हमारे घर में खवातीन है वो बच्चों को दबाने की कोशिश करती है हमेशा, और यानी जिसके बाद जो अथॉरिटी है वो दूसरे के ऊपर इंप्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करता है। इस सप्रेशन से भी एक एंजाइटी का लेवल पैदा होता है। फिर तीसरी चीज है कि रिलेशनशिप के अंदर अगर अंडरस्टैंडिंग मौजूद ना हो तो भी आप एंजाइटी की तरफ जाते हैं, जो फर्दर फिर आगे डिप्रेशन और फिर आगे सैडनेस की तरफ जाती है। इन तमाम चीजों से निकलने के लिए 2-3 चीजों का जो मैं समीना से भी मैंने सुना, एनजी से भी मैंने सुना, वो ये है कि नंबर 1 कि आप अपने डाइट का ख्याल करें। नंबर 2 आप अपनी स्लीपिंग हैबिट्स को बेटर करें। नंबर 3 आप एक्सरसाइज को अपनी जिंदगी का हिस्सा बनाएं। नंबर 4 आप अपने रिलेशनशिप्स में टॉलरेंस पैदा करें। आप सुने, एक दूसरे को सुने, और सबसे जो इंपॉर्टेंट बात जो मैंने जिंदगी में सीखी है कि अप्रिशिएट करना सीखें। अगर आप अपने रिलेशनशिप में अपनों को अप्रिशिएट करेंगे, उससे मोहब्बतें बढ़ती हैं, और उन मोहब्बतों से इंसान बड़े सुकून की लाइफ की तरफ जाता है। सबसे बढ़कर जो खास इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो समीना ने रेज किया कि जब आप इबादत करते हैं, बेसिकली इबादत जो है वो एक तरह का ऐसा मेडिटेशन है, वो इस तरह का एक ऐसा एक्सरसाइज है जो आपको दुनिया के मसाइल से निकाल देता है और आप एक रब की जात की तरफ फोकस हो जाते हैं। यानी जब आप इबादत करते हैं, चाहे आप हिंदू हैं, चाहे आप सिख हैं, चाहे आप मुसलमान हैं, चाहे आप क्रिश्चियन हैं, any religion you're from, whenever you when you face your God, when you are doing your prayers, just focus on it और दिल से उस काम को करें, क्योंकि ये वो टाइम होता है जो आपको दुनिया की परेशानी से निकालता है और आपको रीगेन, आपकी एनर्जी को रीगेन कर रहा होता है। तो बेसिकली ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें जो मैं अंडरस्टैंड की है। तो समीना, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगी जो मैंने कहा है? जी समीना। इकरा से रिक्वेस्ट है कि समीना को फोकस करें सिर्फ, ताकि वो कुछ कह सके हमें। जी समीना, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? ये मेरा माइक तो बंद नहीं। जी समीना, हेलो, आपको आवाज आ रही है? एनजी, कैन यू हियर मी?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I think Samina can't hear us. I just say something because if you have 5 habits in your life, just like if you can balance your diet, if you have some good sleeping habits, and if you have, Samina, can you hear me now? Samina को मेरी आवाज नहीं जा रही। Okay, just let NG in. I'll switch to NG. Yes, NG, can you hear me now? Yeah, you can hear me now. NG, you can hear me. I said just like 5 tips, basically. I give the 5 tips after that all conversation. Number 1, you should have a good sleep. Number 2, you have a balanced diet. Habit to meditate or exercise. Make healthy friends, spend time with them, and create trust between the relationship, and try to give time to your relationships, and appreciate each other efforts in the life. You have to appreciate. Even sometime a woman cook very good food at home, and the man's responsibility to appreciate her. Woman manage the house, men's responsibility to appreciate her. And the men's like same, vice versa, working outside, have hard day, hard kind of things facing outside. When you come to home, women should appreciate. Appreciation between the relationships also very important. When you follow these 5 tips, then it gonna decrease your anxiety level and your happiness come into your life. What do you think about it? GNG.
From what I can pick up, I'm just getting this aspect of gratitude come in as an extra layer on top of the other things, such as the habitual habits like the eat, sleep, exercise, being in relationship with other people. It's like the hierarchy of needs, of human needs. And I think you were saying about appreciation. gratitude is really, really key in terms of mental health. You can't, unless you can be happy with, grateful for what you are, what is around you, then you will not be able to reach for the extra, the higher level, because it's like raising the bar all the time for the wants and the needs and the shoulds. That's feeding the egoic mind. That is natural for us human beings, but we have to understand now we're stepping into being a bit more radical on things and learning about our responsibility of how we can work with this mind. And if we have to understand, if we come away from those constraints of what we feel is really important and appreciate what is flowing through us, what is part of our life, what is our existence, then it appreciation allows for things to accumulate, is what I'm saying. And it goes also, it's the counterpart to what resists persists. And if we are constantly resisting, say if we're resisting our changes, if we're resisting where we're meant to go, then it's going to we're going to the words come for de-appreciate who we are. We de-appreciate ourselves as a life form, away from having to be stigmatized into a status or a role, and that again comes down to playing into society and rules and regulations. I'm just being a little bit radical here because what I want to do is free us up so that we feel more in control of what's happening, and to understand that we can be the drivers for our own destiny.
It's very true, Angie, very true. Thank you very much for your time and your lovely experiences which you share with us, and the way how to tackle with that kind of problem. Thank you very much. Samina, say something about these all things which you hear about it, and how you can explain. कैसे रोशनी डालोगे इन तमाम बातों पे?
इन तमाम बातों पर हम ये रोशनी, एंजेलिना बिल्कुल सही कहती है, शुक्र करना बहुत बड़ी चीज है सबके लिए. To appreciate where you are, appreciate what you have. That doesn't mean कि हम ख्वाहिश रखना छोड़ दें, हम उम्मीद रखना छोड़ दें. जो चीजें हम बहुत चाहते हैं उनके लिए भी रखना जरूरी है. But इस वक्त में, इस पल में रहना, to live in the moment, to appreciate what we have, is a better level of energy and positivity than always to live in a state of anxiousness or request what we really, really want all the time. Or every day life में हम बहुत चीजें कर सकते हैं. Anxiety को manage करना, to make ourselves better, to manage situations in a more calmer way. And again, for me, on a personal level, मेरे लिए तो मैं ये कहूँगी कि जितना आप अपनी belief system में एक ख्वाहिश रख सकते हैं, hope रखे, faith रखे, वो सबसे बड़ी बात है. इंसान के पास solutions नहीं होती हैं, मगर जब हम वो solutions को मांगे और हम चीजों का शुक्र करें तो फिर solutions हमारे सामने खुद ब खुद आ जाती हैं.
That's very good. Thank you very much, Samina, and thank you very much, Angelina Ray, today in our show. That's the beautiful topic we discussed today: anxiety and hope that people can understand. And you can, आपके पास कोई सवाल हो, आप जरूर हमारी लाइव फीड में जरूर दीजिएगा हमें, तो हम आपके सवालों के जवाब देंगे, क्योंकि हमारे साथ एनजी और समीना रहेगी हमारे साथ इन शोज में, और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि लोगों के इससे रिलेटेड जितने भी सवाल हैं उनके जवाब दे सकें, और ताकि लोगों को हेल्प कर सकें इन तमाम बातों के ऊपर जो हम अपनी सोसाइटी में इर्द गिर्द देखते हैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच आप तमाम दोस्तों का हमारे साथ जुड़ने का. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर जीएस न्यूज और जितने हमारे स्पॉन्सर्स हैं उन सबका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। उम्मीद है आप सब हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं समीना और एंजी, उनका मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ। टाइम निकाला उन्होंने हमारे साथ, टाइम गुजारा 1 घंटे का। तो हमेशा से हम कोशिश करेंगे आपके साथ ये 5 मिनट का टाइम गुजारे और ये अपने क्वेश्चंस आपके पास हैं, अपनी लाइफ से रिलेटेड कोई भी आपकी इश्यूज हैं, आप हमें जरूर क्वेश्चन भेजें। हम अपने इस प्रोग्राम में बाकायदा डिस्कस करेंगे। अभी क्योंकि एक्सपेरिमेंटली प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, इसमें हम लाइव कॉल्स नहीं ले रहे। बहुत जल्द हम कोशिश करेंगे कि जो हमारी ऑडियंस है, अगर वो लाइव क्वेश्चन करना चाहती है, हम उनके लाइव क्वेश्चंस भी लेंगे और अपने प्रोग्राम का टाइम जो दोहरानिया है उसको भी हम बढ़ाने की कोशिश करेंगे, ताकि आप लोग डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस कर सकें, आप जो फील कर रहे होते हैं। लेकिन अभी आपके पास चॉइस है कि आप हमें मैसेज कर सकते हैं, आप हमें ईमेल कर सकते हैं, आप हमें डायरेक्ट हमारी फेसबुक लाइव जो हमारी पेज होता है उसके ऊपर आप हमें अपने क्वेश्चंस रेज कर सकते हैं, आप हमें इनबॉक्स कर सकते हैं। अगर आप कोई बातें पब्लिकली नहीं करना चाहते और किसी सवाल का जवाब चाहते हैं, तो आप हमारे प्रोग्राम को हमारे स्टूडियो के थ्रू आप हमें कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं और हम आप नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम में आपके क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स देने की कोशिश करेंगे। आप सबका बहुत बहुत आप सबका बहुत शुक्रगुजार होने के साथ जीएस न्यूज़ का बहुत शुक्रिया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आपसे मुलाकात होगी नेक्स्ट संडे। तब तक की इजाजत दीजिए। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
You're watching GSTV UK. Keep watching.